and
You're
should be
keeping
a nice event. And
yeah, a lot of fun.
yeah. Try to keep the weather nice for it. We'll see the 9-day in a second, but before we get to the 9-day, today it was warm. We were in the 70s and 80s. We were 80 in Oklahoma City, and of course, incredibly dry out in western Oklahoma. So some fires were able to flare up. We've got Val and Marty out there tracking the active fire right now in Ellis County. We can go over to Val's shot. That's up here in the corner with some active flames. Val, how have things been faring here over the last 10 minutes?
Well, you know, Andrew, it's been getting better, and by that I mean that firefighters have getting a pretty good handle on it. You know, they called in air support, and we got some really cool video of 2 times a super scooper coming by and dumping water on those flames. And we watched it. He went up and filled up right off of Fort Supply Lake, and then came back again and dumped another load. So firefighters are doing good. All in all, there's not as much flames, there's not as much smoke, and I think they're going to get a pretty good handle on it. Back to you.
Awesome. Thanks, Val. Yeah, one thing I've noticed on radar even is that the smoke plume went away on radar. So obviously, yes, we're still burning, but it's not burning as much or as intensely to get the smoke higher to where it intersects the radar beam. Here's one of those videos. This is the second video. If you were watching about 10 minutes ago, you saw the first video Val sent me. Here's the second video, the second pass of that firefighting plane that's about to drop its water on the flames. Just awesome to see. Doing great job, great work out there. And I've seen some videos of planes out in the Texas Panhandle as well that have been fighting fires out there, as they still have some burnings going on right around that large fire that burned in the Texas Panhandle. There's our Ellis County fire. You notice how it gets much lighter. That also tells me that it's weakening, that firefighters are doing a good job, and that's great because it's still incredibly dry out in far western Oklahoma. We've got relative humidity values in the single digits, in the lower teens. Couple that with wind gusts 15 to 25 miles per hour. Fortunately, winds are not as high as they were just 40 minutes ago. We were seeing wind gusts 35 miles per hour. Now we are not, so that's also helping them. Winds not quite as strong, but those southerly winds really warmed things up from yesterday across the state. This time yesterday, we were sitting 20 to 30 degrees colder than we are right now. Temperatures really rebounded with the south wind, and that dry air really took hold and is going to stay out in western and even into central Oklahoma. Tomorrow afternoon, we'll have relative humidity values the 20s, and we could definitely see some teens out in northwestern Oklahoma. So we will keep that very elevated fire risk up in far western and northwestern Oklahoma tomorrow. Wind gusts 30 to 40, 10 to 20% humidity. Wouldn't be shocked if we had some humidity values a little bit lower than that, especially way out there. But into central Oklahoma, we'll kind of squeeze that high fire risk into the picture, as we have been very dry lately. It's going to be windy, and that is just the recipe for fires to take shape. So fire risk through the remainder of this evening and tomorrow, and then we're going to kind of squash that as we get into Monday. Late Monday, a cold front's going to come through. This system brings in rain mainly to the southeastern corner of the state. But as we get into Wednesday night, Thursday morning, and then another round on Thursday, we'll have a better chance for some rain here across the state, and hopefully we can start to see more frequent storms. As that one passes, then we head to the weekend. We're cool for a second. Temperatures rebounding once again and looking a little bit dry for the back half of the 9-day once we get past that late week storm. Blanchard Cam is quiet, 75 degrees right now. Out at Will Rogers, 31 was the last wind gust. That was about an hour ago. I'm sure wind gusts much quieter now. As you look at the rest of our sites, we've got some 60s popping in Canadian Kingfisher County, even down toward Chickasha at 68, 75 and more, 74 in Jones, very comfortable. Lows tonight across the metro fall back into the 50s, some low 50s possible out in far west metro from El Reno to Kingfisher, but it's going to be a very mild night with those winds staying pretty gusty out of the south, 10 to 20 miles per hour. And that 55 here in Oklahoma City, that would be close to our average high in the afternoon. That's 58 degrees this time of year. We're likely not going to break the record for warm low, but we'll be close to that 59. It's going to be very mild, and we're going to be very, very warm tomorrow afternoon once again. 80s across the metro. Temperatures across the state right now, mainly in the 70s and 60s, and more 80s coming tomorrow afternoon as we don't cool off statewide very much. And we could see some mid-80s up in northwestern Oklahoma where it is a little bit drier. The rain chances Monday night, mainly southeastern Oklahoma. We're mainly quiet until we get into the middle and back half of the coming work week. Try to get some rain across the state. That's all I got. I'll send it out to Chris.